Talk to me.
Good morning, members of the press.
Referendum in South Sudan. I repeat, today is the 2nd September 2010. We are left with the 129 days for referendum in South Sudan. In terms of hours, there are only 3,096 hours left. In terms of minutes, we have 185,716 minutes left. In terms of seconds, we are left with the 11,145 seconds, 600. This is the time left for South Sudan to choose between war and peace. I want to say this. This is the time left for the region to sustain peace or go back to war. We as South Sudan Civic Education, as of today, the 2nd of September 2010, with only 129 days left for referendum in South Sudan, there is no civic education in South Sudan. There is no registration. There is no funding from international community. There is no political will from either IGAD, African Union, United Nations, and globally. We as citizens of South Sudan, we thought that it is high time to inform you, members of the press, that as the clock ticks, we want you to ask our leaders in the region and international to account to this. Why are they keeping quiet as the clock ticking? We also wanted to address the following, that the Comprehensive Peace Agreement was signed here in Nairobi on 9 January 2005. Since then, the implementation became negotiation itself, because President Hassan Omar al-Bashir, the president of Sudan, and his party, the National Congress Party, has put obstacle on the way of implementation. The first key obstacle they put on the way, since we signed the agreement in 2005 here in Nairobi, was when we are forming the government of national unity. According to Comprehensive Peace Agreement, there are clear modality of implementation. For example, the power sharing agreement stipulated that the government of national unity should be based on specific clusters. They divide them in 3 clusters. There is sovereign cluster, there is economic cluster, and the social cluster. When we formed the government in 2005, National Congress Party first violation agreement was the renege on the formation of government. They became greedy, they took the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Energy. We almost went to the crisis and the stalemate. It is the wise leadership Salva Kiir Mayardit, the president of government of South Sudan, which averted the crisis. That's the first crisis in 2005. Who is behind it? President Hassan Omar al-Bashir. The second crisis came immediately after John Garang was sworn in on the 9th July 2005. According to Comprehensive Peace Agreement, we had a dispute on a place called Abie. It was not resolved during negotiation. So a special commission was formed called Abie Border Commission, in abbreviation ABC. When ABC rendered its report, when Dr. John Garang is still alive, this report was given to them in Khartoum. John Garang accepted the result of the ABC. President Hassan Omar al-Bashir kept quiet. He promised that when John Garang visits South Sudan, he returned, they will discuss it. But as all of you know, that fatal trip John Garang took from Khartoum to South Sudan, he never went back. He died on the fatal accident on the 30th of July 2005. So when Salva Kiir was nominated to replace John Garang, the first meeting with Bashir was to look at this ABC report. President Hassan al-Bashir told Salva Kiir that the ABC report, the commissioner were involved, the experts were involved, overstepped their mandate. That is the second crisis. It also almost threw us into crisis. We went to the stalemate. Again, Salva Kiir came step in. made compromise. Say, okay, since we have dispute, we cannot resolve this ABC report. Let the issue of Abyei taken to arbitration court in Hague. This again is a compromise from President Salva Kiir. As all of you know it, the court made decision. That decision was not SPLM decision, not the South Sudan decision. It is the decision of the arbitration court. Both parties, the SPLM and National Congress Party, agree in advance before going into court that the outcome of that decision will be respected by all of them. Now, as we speak, the National Congress Party, on the top of its President Hassan Omar al-Bashir, have reneged in the implementation of the arbitration court. The third key issue now, as we speak, we move to referendum with 129 days left. We agree. When I say we, I mean South Sudan and the National Congress Party. South Sudan is represented by the SPLM. That the Referendum Commission for South Sudan will be constituted with the chair nominated by National Congress Party. The Secretary General nominated by SPLM. Why the Secretary General is important? The Secretary General for Referendum Commission is the chief executive who is going to run the referendum itself. We had a stalemate on the Referendum Commission because the National Congress became greedy. They nominated both the chair and Secretary General again. This is a situation which we thought the international community must know and they cannot keep quiet about it. Until after Bashir came to Nairobi. When he went back, they had a meeting with Salva Kiir. But before even that meeting took place, the SPLM highest political organ, the political bureau, met and tried to find a way to unlock this stalemate. The SPLM political bureau decided that if the National Congress Party is using the issue of Secretary General to stonewall the referendum process, SPLM once again conceded the position of Secretary General, gave the National Congress Party. This is a clear indicator that National Congress Party has been putting obstacle to implement the CPA and even the referendum. Now, as we speak, President Salva Kiir returned from Khartoum yesterday after the meeting of the presidency. For those of you who does not understand what is this presidency, according to the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, there is an institution called presidency. This institution consists of President Hassan Omar al-Bashir, President Salva Kiir, who is the President of the Government of South Sudan. He is also the first Vice President of the Republic of Sudan. And the third member of the presidency is Ali Osman Taha, the second Vice President of the Republic. Two of them are from National Congress Party. Even the meeting of presidency, if they go for vote, already 2 against 1. So I want to clarify the following. There is a myth in the media that there has been a breakthrough in a meeting in Khartoum between Salva Kiir, Ali Osman Taha, and President Bashir. What has been said as a breakthrough, as far as we are concerned, there's no breakthrough. Because they only reaffirm what is the CPA, that the referendum must take place by 9 January 2011. This is not a breakthrough. They also reaffirm that the border between North and South has to be finalized before the referendum. Is this breakthrough? This is not a breakthrough. What we are calling upon here is, we as South Sudanese civil society organization, as citizens of South Sudan for myself, we are very disappointed. The regions are taking a back stage and using excuse after excuse. The time has come that the region, I'm talking about the region of here, because this CPA is signed here in Kenya. On the top of the CPA is the Kenya government. Kenya government is the chair of the subcommittee of IGAD on Sudan. IGAD mediated this CPA. The African Union support IGAD. The United Nations Security Council endorsed this agreement. As we speak now, we're only getting lip service, either from IGAD, from UN, from African Union. As citizens of South Sudan, we thought that time has come to account for this. We must take to account what is the delayment, who is delaying this, why the international community are playing politics when it comes to the people of South Sudan. Let me put this reality on the table, that if the referendum does not take place, as Khartoum is attempting to do, by 9 January 2011, the people of South Sudan will not accept, under any circumstances, pressure either from IGAD, from African Union, from United Nations, or from any superpower to postpone the referendum. This referendum is a matter of life and death for people of South Sudan. The deadline of 9 January 2011 is written not with ink. This deadline was written with the blood of 2.5 million South Sudanese. I repeat, the deadline of 9 January 2011 is not written on ink. This deadline is written with the blood of 2.5 million South Sudanese who perished during the war. We cannot, under any circumstances, explain to 2.5 million people why they died. It is because of this background we thought that we must ring this alarm bell to all of you to inform the world that the time has come to reckon on this issue. Talk has come to an end. We need action now. On the 10th January 2011, if Khartoum is allowed to continue to stonewall and delay the process of referendum as they've been doing, and then the parliament, which is elected by people of South Sudan, in the last election in April, has the mandate of the people of South Sudan to make a decision which the people of South Sudan have been denied through this obstruction by National Congress Party. Now, the international community must take notice on that. When that time comes, the parliament make that decision. National Congress Party, on the top of it, President Hassan al-Bashir, attempt to invade the South Sudan, that will be the mark of beginning of another war. And this is not war posturing, but we are trying to state the fact to everybody that definitely, if Khartoum continue to do what they are doing now, we arrive on the 9 January, no voting. 10 January, the parliament will sit on a special session and make a decision which has been denied to the people of South Sudan through this referendum. Now, this conflict will throw the entire region into the fire. Let nobody underestimate this, because war in South Sudan, 2011, imposed by Bashir, will be more bloodier and be very costly, because SPLA is no longer a guerrilla. SPLA is a conventional army now. This war is going to be fought as a conventional army, fighting one another. And when the fire is burning in the neighborhood, if you are in the neighbor, make effort to put out the fire, because the wind can blow that fire to your house and you also get burned. Kenya, IGAD, and we are part of this region. International community has not lived to their commitment. When it came to the visit of Bashir, there was chorus from all over, condemnation. We want that condemnation to be translated into action. If the international community condemned the visit of Bashir, and then they must translate that to the action into the pressure, to pressurize Bashir and make sure that the 129 days are making use of it. Because sometimes people talk about, how come we still have more time? There's no time left. There's no time left. Every minute passed, we are dragging toward the war. I want also to say that why we are not having this electoral referendum functioning is simply because the national